I don't know, like I was lost, and I was like, I always grew up going to church, so that was like what I thought I was supposed to do.
Yeah, yeah,
And then I was playing basketball behind the apartments, and like I was really getting back into that after like
yeah.
playing with you for so long. And I was like, all right, I found people that are cool and want to play basketball, and it's right there. And then they just were like, hey, uh, they were like super nice. They were just like, we have this Bible study if you want to come hang out, and we just chill and have food and stuff. And I was like, oh man, that's perfect. Little did I know what I was getting into. I was uh I just kept playing basketball with them. Some dude like snapped his Achilles right in front of me. He didn't come back to the church for a minute, but I ended up going. So I watched Avengers Endgame, which is like 3 hours at midnight, and then so at 3 a.m. the movie ends, and then at 6 a.m. I wake up to walk to school 20 minutes to go to this church thing, and then they just start they're bashing people. they're just they're just like calling out people, just like Terry and Carrie, you're not bringing people in.
Uh-huh.
God says, to get to fellowship with your fellow Christians and all this, and all that stuff. So I was just like,
Yeah,
oh man, they're it's hot right off the bat. It's a
yeah,
little.
yeah.
But I was there, and everyone was super nice to me, and I had food, and that, as a college student, that's dope. And I'll speed it up a little bit. I just like going to individual meetings with them, and they're writing my notes for me. And I think, oh, that's a little weird, but all right. And then they come out and they're just like, some people say we're a cult. And I was like, all right. And I just didn't, I brushed it off because they were just like, they're writing my notes for me, like telling me what I was supposed to be taking from the verses. And they're like, if he's gonna be upfront with me,
Right.
like, and he's like, Jesus was in the cult. I was like, I guess. And I just brushed it off. And then I just kept going to individual meetings with everybody, and they kept taking my notes for me. And then one day I was like talking to one of them, and we were like playing pool or something, and they were talking about what they were going to do for the weekend, and I was like, man, this don't really sound right. They're just like,
Yeah.
yeah, we're going to sell this and that, we're going to pop over here, and she going, like, what, hold on, what is what's going on here? And just started. That's when I still hadn't like talked to any of my roommates or my friends or my family at this point, right? And they're telling
Yeah.
me I was seeing someone named Mary at the time, and they were just like, if you don't bring her in, you can't be with her. If your family doesn't join this church, you can't talk to them no more. We're your family now. And I was like, damn. But then what really got me was I went out proselytizing, which is illegal on college campuses, I learned. So you're like trying to get kids to like join your church.
Uh-huh.
Not really supposed to be doing that because like college kids are like young, and they're changing, and they're like trying to find themselves. So it'd be kind of manipulative to be like, hey, I'm like 30 years old, but come join my church.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's what they were doing. They were like walking. They tried to get me to walk along and get people to join the church, and I felt super uncomfortable. And I was like, oh shoot. And then we came up to this dude who we went up to this guy who was Muslim. He was like, dude, I you know I'm Muslim. I'm good right now. Went up to another dude, and he was like, I'm an atheist, and he knew so much more about the Bible than the guy I was with, and I was like, dang.
Uh-huh.
So like after a week, I like took my finals and everything. I finally called my mom. And I was like, can we look into this church? And we looked it up, and the first thing is like cult watch, cult watch, cult watch.